Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Positively Atheist. This is Eddie here. Got a quick question for you that has been presented to me. How do you know if you're an atheist? Well, the word atheism and theism, all this comes with a lot of baggage, and there's a lot of disagreement amongst people about how to use those words. And let's be honest here. Words don't really have inherent meanings. What they have is usages. So it's possible for two people to have a conversation and not use the same words the same way. So it's important to clarify what people actually mean before you have those conversations. Now, we also don't want to just have words mean anything we want, because if we do that, we risk not being able to have a conversation at all. So we do need to come to some clarification about what the terms actually mean. So here's the question for you. I'm going to lay a question out for you, but it's important for you to listen to the question, and it's important for you to hear what I'm asking, not what you think I'm asking. The other thing here is the question I'm going to ask you is going to be a yes or no question. No other answers will be accepted. It's kind of like if you take a test at school. Tests can be in any format the teacher wants to give it. They can ask a question with multiple choice, true or false. This is a multiple choice question, and the only two acceptable answers are going to be yes or no. And I know, and before I ask the question, I understand that there are going to be some frustrations with the fact that I'm asking for a yes or no response. We'll dive into that in this video. But before I ask the question, it's important to understand these are the only acceptable answers. So I'm going to ask the question, and then I'll break the question down for you, and we'll talk about the problems that you're no doubt going to experience when you hear the question. So this is the question, and you can write it down if you want to really get a grasp of the words that I'm using. The question is, do you currently believe in a God or gods? So let's break down the first part of the question first. Do you currently? Now, this is an important part of the question because beliefs can change. Beliefs can change here, there, tomorrow. In 5 minutes from now, you can have a different belief, right? So it's important that we discuss what you believe right now in this moment. Not about what you believed yesterday or 5 minutes ago, or what you may believe later on, pending more information. I'm asking about right now, what do you believe? And this brings me to the second part, the very important part of this question, one of the core parts, which is, notice the word here is believe. You know, a lot of times when people get asked this question, what do you believe that there's a God? Their response is a lot of times, well, I don't know. But it's important to point out that using the phrase, I don't know, is actually not answering the question. The question was not, what do you know? The question was, what do you believe? And this is an important distinction that comes up in this conversation. So it's, what do you currently believe? Not what you know, not what you have information for, but what do you believe? And of course, the last part is God or gods. Now, you may not believe in any actual deity, like a Zeus or Thor or something like that, or Yahweh. Maybe you believe in like spirits, or you believe in energies. That's fine. But would you consider those things a god or gods? And I'm not telling you whether or not you should or should not. Well, I'm asking you a legitimate question to think about. Would you, if because the question here is, do you believe in a god or gods? And so only you can answer that question. Do you consider whatever spirits or fairies, do you consider those to be gods or godlike? You know, and honestly, it's up to you to define what a god is in your mind, because for some people, a god could be like Zeus, or it could be a limited god, like so a god who's in control of like thunder or God. These could be God or gods or gods. So it's up to you to define that. So I'm going to ask the question one more time with all that clarification. And this is a yes or no response we're looking for. Do you currently believe in a God or gods? Now, no doubt many people are going to have objections to this question. And usually the objections go something like this. Well, I don't really have any information about it. I don't understand the question, right? Or I haven't really thought about it, right? It's important to point out that this lack of belief is an answer of no to the question. See, when it comes to belief, you either believe a proposition is true or you don't. And it's important to point out that even a position of withholding belief or withholding judgment or withholding, like that, once again, it's not answering the question that's being presented. It's actually avoiding the answer. And second, if it comes from a position that you don't currently hold that belief, then you are by definition in a position of non-belief. So the question is, do you believe? And you either currently hold a belief or you have some other answer which is other than yes. And if you have any other answer, then by definition, you lack belief in this specific case, in the question whether or not you believe in a God. So let's go through the question one more time, talk about some possible answers, and try to come to an agreement on how we can find common understanding in our answers. The question is, do you currently believe in a God? If you say yes, I believe in a God or gods, that's easy. That makes you a theist in the most general broad sense, right? You are a person who believes in a God. And that could be an impersonal God, which would make you a deist. But deism is a subset of theism because it's a belief in a God or gods. That's what makes you a theist. And that could be a deist being an impersonal God, or the standard is theism, which is the idea of a God who is personal in some way. But deism is a subset of theism, right? And you have to believe in a God to believe in an impersonal God. Does that make sense? All deists are theists, but not all theists are deists. So deism is a subset of theism. Now, if your answer is anything other than yes, then by definition, your answer is no in this particular case. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, if you have any other position, let's say you have a position that you believe that there are no gods. Let's say that's your position. Well, that is a subset of the answer no to that question. In other words, no, I don't believe in any gods. In fact, I believe there are no gods. That could be an answer. But notice how that's a subset of no. It's a variant of no. You could have the position of, no, I don't currently believe in any gods because I don't understand the question. Notice how that is also a subset of no. You could also say, no, I don't understand I don't believe in any gods because it doesn't seem to make any sense to me at all. That is also a subset of no. So notice how that when you look at the actual potential answers, the answers boil down to either yes or no. So if you answered yes to the question, do you currently believe in a God or gods? You are, by definition, a theist. If your answer to the question is anything other than yes, then you are, by definition, an atheist, which means you are a person who lacks belief in a God. And you could be a person who has a positive conviction that there are no gods, or just a person who doesn't currently believe. Either one of those are subset of the answer no. And this is super important for understanding atheism and what it means to be an atheist. And hopefully this clarified some things for many of you. I know there's a lot of conversations about this. I would love to get your feedback on it and hear your responses. How did you answer that question? What are your thoughts on it? And what are your thoughts to my approach? Hopefully you like this video. Please like and subscribe and share with somebody who you know is having these conversations too. Thank you very much.